right, Kayla, thank you. As many of you know, Birmingham is made up of 99 neighborhoods, but those lines on a map didn't happen by accident. Well, this week I got to spend time with the Civil Rights Institute's historical content expert in Fountain Heights to learn how the city's history shaped the neighborhoods we know today. Looking at a map, it's just symbols, lines, and colors. A rough outline showing where one neighborhood begins and another ends. But what it can't show you is why those boundaries exist and the motivations of the people who created them. We start in Fountain Heights, well known as the epicenter of Birmingham's civil rights history.
Well, we're standing in the Fountain Heights neighborhood, and this neighborhood connects people of a variety of backgrounds. And this is one of those things about the 99 neighborhoods. We also have to think about the 23 communities, because we're thinking of bringing cultures together. And in this area, there were Italians. In this area, there were African Americans. In this area, there were people who were Jewish.
What was meant to keep people apart socially did not keep people disconnected in other areas, like the steel industry, which sprang up seemingly overnight in 1871, giving Birmingham its nickname, the Magic City.
65% of the labor in Birmingham's steel industry was African American. So never was it a situation where people of color wanted to be far away. It was just they wanted them to be socially less than.
Ironically, the one place where African Americans could escape the racial hierarchy would come to symbolize it. Tell me the significance of what we're standing in front of right now.
We're standing in front of the cornerstone of the original 16th Street Baptist Church. And when we talk about the idea of segregation being something where people were kept close together, but their status was hierarchical, there are very few symbols more powerful than this one.
When do we start to see, I guess, the growth away from that and that expansion into all of these other neighborhoods that we're more familiar with today?
When we start looking at 1926, Birmingham is going to pass an ordinance that's going to segregate the housing in the neighborhoods. And it's going to result in Birmingham's Black community, which was about 43% of the population at the time, being relegated into 11% of the residential territories. And it also created a dividing line.
Barry himself has lived in several of the 99 neighborhoods: Smithfield, Kingston, Avondale, and Norwood, just to name a few.
It taught me that as many differences as you could find in people, you could find similarities. And people had the same issues, no matter if the neighborhood was, very, very well-to-do, or if the neighborhood was struggling. They still loved their children. They still had dreams and ideas.
And Birmingham's history is what makes the Magic City unlike anywhere else. And WBTM 13 is proud to work with the Birmingham Civil Rights Institute to tell the stories of the 99 neighborhoods. Together, we are highlighting the people and the places that continue to shape our city.